Uh, just a minute. Yes. So the recording has been started. So after each session, let's see, now how I can share these recordings with you. Like maybe after each session, or maybe after 3 to 4 sessions, we will work out that. Okay. So I would be keeping the running notes of our sessions, and then I would be sending you those after the session. And please, somebody please take the responsibility of creating the WhatsApp group for all of us. I would be sharing my contact details, so that I'll share first, and then we will start. So I'm sharing my email ID first. It's pranodaya.dingre@gmail.com. Then my mobile number is 9822233115. So this is the same number I use my WhatsApp on. Yes, please, Piyush, please create the WhatsApp group, add each one of
Okay,
us
okay.
into it. Yeah, and
Yes, sure, sure.
yeah, and then we can discuss the problems also over there. I would be also sharing a few links. My blog links are there, so I will be sharing few blog links, which the blogs which I have written on LinkedIn. One of the blog from those, it has already been translated into Portuguese language. One of the person from Portugal, he had read my blog, and then he liked the content, and he translated it into the Portuguese language as well. So please read those blogs. I would be sharing with you all those blogs, and you can search me on LinkedIn using this name. Right. So please create the group and add each one of us over there. Okay. So I would be creating the running notes, and then I would be sharing those notes with each one of you. Okay, guys. So let's get started. So first we are going to have a look at the Java. Like Java, we are not going to directly start writing the program. We are first going to understand different concepts which we really need to know when it comes to the development. We are going to first concentrate, as I told you, like we are first going to concentrate like the whole things. We are going to concentrate like fully on Java. We are going to learn the things which we need to know for our automation, as well as for writing our frameworks. So all those concepts until the interfaces, we are going to learn Java, like right from the encapsulation and all the basic things up to the interface we are going to learn. And then we are going to shift our focus to the test automation. So we are going to have this few sessions on understanding of the architecture of test automation tool, or architecture of the Selenium, and then we are going to start writing our automation scripts, right? So our course is divided into, majorly divided into the three segments. The first segment is going to be the Java. Second segment is going to be the test automation, where we are primarily focusing on UI automation. The third segment is going to be a Selenium, and the fourth, obviously the fourth one would be the framework. So the four segments, the major segments, we are going to discuss, having a discussion on throughout this course. Again, I am telling you, like if you face any issues, or like if you have any queries, anything, just ask me there and there itself. Don't wait until I ask you guys to come up with your queries. Okay. Okay. So first we are going to talk about JDK and JRE. This is very important point what I'm going to tell you. JDK is a Java development kit, and JRE is a Java runtime environment. Now, what is this, and why do we need to know this? Like while working in the test
Pranodaya,
automation, why?
Pranodaya,
Yes,
sorry I
yes,
interrupt
yes.
you. Are you going to share your screen?
I have. Oh, I have not shared. Sorry. Actually, I got disconnected in between. That's why the screen is not shared. Yeah, I'm sharing. Obviously,
Yeah.
just a minute. Yeah. So I'm sharing the screen. Yeah, thanks a lot. Actually, thanks a lot for bringing me this to my notice, because I was in a, I mean, I thought that my screen is shared, but I forgot that in between, I had lost the connection, and I had not shared the screen. Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, so JDK, JRE. So let's talk about the JDK and JRE, and why do we need to know what is the difference between JDK and JRE? We need to know because we are going to set up the test execution environment. There are going to be two types of environments we are going to set up in our automation projects. One is the development environment where the test development is going to happen, and the other one is the execution environment where only the execution is going to happen. Right now, JDK is a Java development kit. Java development kit. It's a development kit. It has all the utilities, tools which we need to develop the Java applications or Java programs. So whether you are doing the Java programming for developing any kind of an application, or you do it for the automation purpose, but ultimately we need the development environment which contains the Java compiler, then the jar creation utility, then jar signer utility, and many others, like for that matter, like whatever we need to have on our machine to start building the Java application is something we get it from the Java development kit. And JRE is a Java runtime environment. So basically, Java setup provides us the two components, the JDK as well as JRE. So JDK contains development tools along with the JRE. So Java development kit comes with JRE in it, right? So there is no doubt about that. But if you install JRE, like Java runtime environment, then only the tools and utilities which we require to run the application, they only come up with the JRE. Like you won't be getting any compiler if you install only JRE. You won't be getting any compiler. You won't be getting any jar creation utility or jar signer utility. You would only be getting the Java runtime environment which you can use to run the Java programs or Java applications, right? Uh, the same thing, like when it comes to the C sharp environment, let's say I want to develop my Selenium scripts on like C sharp. So what all things I need? So like few of the machines I want to create as a development machines where the development is script development is going to happen, and the one or more machines I want to create as a execution machines only. Like these machines could be at the customer end as well. Like the customers usually they create the execution environments, or they provide you with the execution environments over there. They don't want the development to happen over there. They only want the execution to be happening on his environment. So what all things you need then when you are creating the development environment, guys? Please understand, if you are creating a development environment, you need a development kit. So whether it is a Java, JDK, if you are onto a C sharp environment, you need a Microsoft Visual Studio, because C sharp compiler only comes with the Microsoft Visual Studio. Microsoft doesn't give you the compiler outside of the Microsoft Visual Studio. The IDE, which we use to, IDE is an integrated development environment, which we use to like develop our programs and compile it from there, right? So C sharp, when it comes to the C sharp environment, the Java C compiler and the Microsoft Visual Studio is something which we require on the development environments. But when it comes to the execution environment, we only need a .NET environment. .NET environment is the execution environment, and the Microsoft Visual Studio contains the IDE as well as the required compilers and the other utilities which we require to to write our programs, to compile our programs, to build to package our programs into NuGet packages or DLLs. So whatever all things we need on the C sharp environment. All those things are present in the Microsoft Visual Studio. And when it comes to the execution, so the .NET framework is the execution environment. So on the Java side, JDK is a Java development kit containing all the tools and utilities which you require to build your Java applications, and JRE is a runtime environment provided for executing the Java programs. Now, let's talk about the compilation process. Like, what is compilation process, and why do we require to compile, how we are going to compile, what all things we are going to use in the compilation process and stuff like that. Okay, so basically Java is a higher level language. Higher level language means the language which is written in such a way, like the words or the you know the keywords which you use while writing the program, they are written in a way or in a language which the human beings can understand, like you and me, like the programmers who are human beings, who are not machines, right? So they need a programming language which they, if they read, they can understand, and if they want to write, they should be able to write, right? So the higher level programming languages are meant for the programmers, right? So the Java is a higher level programming language which is created in a way that any human being should be able to read it and should be able to write the programs in, right? But then when we say, like, I want to execute a program, right, on a machine, but then when we say that I want to execute the program on a computer system, so in the computer system we have different components, like we have a the RAM, then we have a hard disk, then we have a screen, the output, where we get our outputs, and from where we can like we have a keyboard from where we submit our inputs. So along with these components, there is one very important component in the computer system is the processors, right? The processors are considered to be the brain of the computer systems. Now, when we want our computer to do something, that instruction should be given to the processor, and then from then the processor, the brain of the machine, actually exercises that instruction, and then we get our our things are getting done on the computer system. So whatever I want my computer to do, I should be giving the instruction to the processor. And once that processor executes that instruction, then I get the things done on my computer, right? So the same way, if you are writing the programs, so programs are nothing but the collection of the instructions. So either you want your program to print something in the file, you want your program to print something on the console, or you want your program to add two numbers, multiply two numbers, some mathematical operations or arithmetical operations you want your programs to do. So each and everything, whatever you want your program to do, you need to give these instructions to the processor, and processor should understand each and every instruction given by you. Okay, otherwise it won't be able to do anything. So the main point is, you write your programs in the language which you are able to understand, which you are able to read and write. But ultimately, that program should be translated into the language which the processor understands. Then only it is possible for us to have our instructions written in program getting executed, and getting worked on, right? So we write our program in the Java, which is a higher level language, which is meant to be understood by human beings. But ultimately, it has to be translated into the language which the processor understands, which we call as a machine level language, so that the processor would be able to execute those instructions, and we get our outputs over there. So who does this job? Like, from like translating the program written in the higher level language into the program, which the into the instructions which the machine can or the processor can understand. So the compiler does this job of translation. Right now, Java compiler is little bit different than the other language compilers. So let's understand first how C, C++ compiles the programs, and then we would be talking about how Java compile the programs, right? So if I have written my C++ program, let's say in the form of if, while, and then int a, char b, and all the program instructions are written in C language, but then I compile my C program before I can put it for the execution. Now what happens is, like, when you compile your C program, so it gets converted into the, like, when you compile set, it gets converted into the processor's native instruction set. Each and every processor has its own language, which we call as processor's native instruction set, right? So the language which I can understand is a C, and processor's native instruction set is a language, a set of instructions which the processor can understand. And the compiler, a C compiler, that compiler translates our C program into the processor's native instruction set. A C compiler translates a C program into the processor's native instruction set, right? Now what happens is, like, if you compile your program into on a machine having a 8086 Intel 8086 processor, Intel 8086 processor, let's say you have on your machine, on which you are building your or developing your C program. Now when you compile it using C compiler, the compiler reads the 8086 native instruction set, what all things are there, like for printing, like if you have said printf, so you want something to be printed on the screen, so the processor will have some instruction for it, right? So the compiler, what it does, it converts that printf into the instruction set which that 8086 processor has for printing some output on the console. So it translates it into that corresponding native instruction set over there, and your object code gets created. Means the code which gets created after the process of compilation, that is called object code, okay, which contains the instructions in the form which the processor can understand now, because it is in the processor's instruction format now, right? And then you put it for the execution on the processor, and your program gets executed there. Now the problem with this approach is, like, if you use the machine having Intel 8086 processor for compiling your program, your your compiler will translate your program into the Intel 8086 processor's native instruction set, okay, and the object code which would be created, it would be containing the instruction set for Intel 8086 processor. Now if you want to execute your program on Intel 8088, let's say you are having your execution machine, some other machine you have as your execution machine, and that machine has Intel 8088 processor, whereas your development machine has 8086 processor, okay. Now what happens is, like, if you compile your C program on this machine 1 having 8086 processor, your program has been translated into, by compiler, the program has been translated into the 8086 native instruction set. Now where you want to execute your program on, you want to execute it on a machine having 8088 processor. Now 8088 processor native instruction set and 8086 processor native instruction set means the languages these two processors can understand. If it is different, then the problem is that your program has been language which this processor understands, but ultimately you want to put it for the execution on the machine having this processor, but then this processor doesn't understand the language of this other processor. Then the problem is, you cannot just compile your C or C++ program on this machine having 8086 processor and put it for the execution on a machine having some different kind of processor. What you need to do in order to get the program executed on this machine, you need to copy the source code here on this machine, and you again need to compile that program so that program instructions can be converted into the native instruction set of this 8088 processor. That is something you need to do. Okay, that's why the C, you cannot just compile the C program on any machine and put it for the execution on any other machine. If these machines are having the processors which are different into their native instruction set, then this cannot be done. You have to, like, if the processor um, your development machine is having and the processor the your execution machine is having, if they are different in their native instruction set, then you just cannot compile the program on one machine and put it for the execution on any other machine without recompiling it on that processor, right? So that is why C programs are not portable. Portable means you cannot just compile them on any machine and put it for the execution on any other machine, unless both these machines are having the processor which are able to understand the languages, right? So they should be of the same family, 8086. If it is the both the machines are having the 8086 processor, then only this is something which you can do. That is where the Java is different here, guys. That is where the Java is different. You may be also knowing that Java is said to be a portable, but then how it is portable, that is something which we need to understand. It's not only about understanding this statement. Okay, people say that Java is portable, this and that, but how it is made portable, let's understand. What is the changes? What are the major changes into the approach of compiling your program on C++ and versus compiling your program on Java? Are you guys with me? Hello, everyone.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
brother.
yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
We
yes,
are
yes,
yes,
listening.
yes.
sir, yes.
Okay,
We
okay.
are watching.
So, yes. So let's understand how Java is different here. So basically, Java compilation is, I mean, it's completely different than C++ compilation process. Now let's understand that. So Java compilation is basically a two-phase compilation process. Java compilation is a two-phase process actually, guys. How it is compiled, right? Okay, we are going to see, like, when we would be doing our programs, we are going to do the both the phases of the compilation. Don't worry about the the practicals. We are going to do lots and lots of practicals. Don't worry about that. But training is not only about practicals. We cannot just start like when we learn anything new, we should be first concentrate on learning the concepts and why, how those concepts are, and why do they are introduced into that particular language, or let's say that particular tool. Usually what I have seen is people always focus on learning something from the perspective of doing that thing, like they concentrate more on, okay, how would I be able to do it, instead of concentrating what is the concept, why I should use this, why I should not use the other thing which is complementary to this. So what, this is what I have observed in many of my sessions, and that is why the people find something very difficult to understand for or difficult to learn. You should also be concentrating on I mean writing the programs, or writing the frameworks from scratch and blah 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 things. But the first and foremost focus should be on understanding the concept, the reason behind that, like why the compilation of the Java is like this and not the way it is there in C and C++. That is something, when you will understand, then it would be very easy for you guys to do the practicals. While you would be compiling the program, while you would be running the program, you would be able to understand, okay, what is happening, what is going to be the output of the first phase, and what is going to be the output of the second phase of the compilation, and going to be the output of that second phase as well. So please guys, please understand this very well. Don't only just follow the things blindly. Please understand the reason behind each and everything. Why to use Maven? Like, I would be coming to those things. Why to use Maven? Why can't we write the scripts? Or like, what is the main role Maven plays? Many people know how to use Maven, how to set up the Maven, but they don't know why to use Maven. Then what is the use of knowing the Maven then, right? So it's always, it has to be like why to use Maven, then how to set up the Maven, and then how to use Maven. It should be like this. The learning process should be like this always. People start the other way around. They they concentrate on, okay, I should be able to use Maven this but if you ask them, okay, like if I don't want to use Maven, then what else, what other variants I have? If I don't want to use Maven because of some reasons, then what the other alternatives I have? Then they don't have that answer, because they have only learned to use Maven. They have not learned the concept of the Maven or the usage of the Maven, right? So always please understand, our learning curve should be, or the learning process should be, it should start from why this, why not something else, then how to set up this thing which we are now going to start using, and then how to use that thing, what are the different settings for using that thing, and that that learning process should then continue like that. But it should always be about why. Okay, it should always start with the question why. Okay, now that is now the answer I'm going to give you, like how Java is made the portable language. Let's understand. In C++, what happens is your C program, once you compile it, it gets converted to your processor's native instruction set, and then it gets tied with the environment which you have used for the compilation. Then you cannot modify it. Like, I mean, once it is converted, it is converted. That's it. Now, if you want to put it for the or if you want to make it the program want to make that program compatible with any other environment, then you do not have any other option than to put your source code there and get it compiled over there again, just to get it converted into the the processor's native instruction set available over there. There is no other way there. Now, how Java has changed this approach of compilation? They introduce here the compilation process is of one phase. Your compiler will take the source code as a higher level language code as an input. It will produce the processor's native instruction set as an output. Okay, that's it. Now, how Java has changed it? Java takes in the first phase. In the first phase, the input is your source code. Source code, right? Your source code is an input, which is a higher level language, like which we are going to talk about, class and what if and this and that, whatever, higher level language, right? But then it doesn't produces the I mean the processor native instruction set. What it produces? It produces like the when you send your higher level language code to Java C compiler. Java C is a compiler. We are going to see that. But Java C is a compiler which takes the higher level language, but it doesn't directly produces the native instruction set. It produces, or it converts your source code into one language which is called byte code. Okay, now I will be coming to that point. What is the reason of not converting the source code directly into the native instruction set? Because ultimately, see, ultimately you write your program in any language, doesn't matter, but ultimately it won't be executed unless and until you convert all those instructions into the language which the processor understands, right? So the target language should always be the your source code, or source language could be anything, but target language should always be the processor's native instruction set. But then the difference over here is that in a single phase, the source code doesn't get converted into the processor's native instruction set. Let's say I'm using machine 1, having 8086 processor as my having my 8086 processor. This machine 1 is my development machine. Okay, where I am going to develop the application or develop the script. You can take anything. You take the development of the Selenium script, or you take the development of any application as well. So the machine 1 is going to be a development machine, and machine 2 is going to be a execution machine. It could be a client machine, or it could be the machine from your organization as well. But there are going to be two machines. One would be a development and another one would be an execution. Now ultimately the source code written should be converted. There is no point in converting this into the processor instruction set of this processor, right? Why? Because you are not going to use this processor for execution. You are going to ultimately put your code for the execution on this machine. Then what is the point in getting the source code converted to native instruction set of this machine? There is no point. It's absolutely useless here, right? It should be ultimately it should get converted into the processor native instruction set of this machine, and once you will convert it into the processor native instruction set of this machine and you execute those instructions here, your program is going to work here, right? Now how Java has facilitated this thing? Now Java gives you a compiler Java C, which comes with the JDK. Okay, Java development kit. So Java development kit contains a compiler java c.exe. So what first phase you are going to do is, the first phase of the compilation process you are always going to perform on your development machine. Okay, so you are going to say Java C, and you are going to send your Java file as an argument to that Java C, and that you are going to get that your program translated from that Java C, which is going to be the first phase of the translation. Okay, so then what Java C is going to produce, or going to convert your program in, not into the processor native instruction set, right? It is going to convert your program into byte code. Okay, so here a .java file, which is a source code Java file, input to Java C, and it is going to produce byte code. It's a byte code which the Java C produces. Okay, so the machine 1, you will have JDK. Inside the JDK you will find one Java C. You will send your Java files to this Java C for the first phase of the translation, and it will create the byte codes of all those Java files for you. Okay, now your source code, which is written in the higher level language, this .java is going to contain source code written in higher level language. You are going to get those .java files translated from this Java into a byte code. Now byte code is a language which is neither higher level nor lower level or machine level. Means what? You would be getting few files created. Once you compile these Java files, you would be getting few files created after the first phase of the compilation, a .class files. They are going to be a .class files. So if you open those .class files just to have a look at what is written over there, you won't be able to understand anything from that, because the file got created after the first phase of the translation. Those files contain the byte code, which is a middle level language. Okay, middle level. Why it is middle level? Because it is neither higher level nor level, neither into the form which the human beings can understand, nor in the form which the machines can understand. Okay, it is somewhere in between, middle level language, byte code. Now if somebody tries to open it, he won't be able to understand. Also, if you try to give the instructions written in these files to the processor also will not understand, because it is not yet converted into the language which the processor understands. So this is the first phase. Okay, so the first phase you are going to perform on your development machines. Then what you will do next? Now you want the second phase to be done on the execution end machine. Okay, so second phase. So what happens in the second phase? So what happens is your Java C has converted your programs into the language which the human beings cannot understand, as well as the the processors are also not able to understand it, right? So you will put these files, the dot class files, over here in the second on the second machine, because second machine is what you are going to use as an execution machines, right? So here you will perform the second phase of translation, and in that second phase of translation what will happen is the yet another compiler, okay, which is called as just in time debugger, JIT. It is a second compiler. So Java has two translators basically, whereas these languages has only one translator, one compiler, which translates the higher level language code into the machine level language. That's it. But here there are two compilers or two translators, you can say. Okay, so the first is it is going to convert our .java or the higher level language, or the programs written in the human readable language. It is going to convert it into the byte code, which is a middle level language. And on the second machine you are going to have yet another translator. That translator is going to do the job of translating that byte code into the processor native instruction set of this machine 2, because ultimately your program should be converted into the processor native instruction set, which is going to be present on the runtime machine and not on the, because if you are intent to put the code on some other machine on the execution, then what is the point in getting it converted to the machine you are using for the development purpose? Ultimately you want the program instructions to be converted into the processor which is going to run those instructions, right? So this 8086 processor native instruction set, getting the program converted into the 8086 processor native instruction set is not going to serve our purpose. We want our program to be converted into the language which this processor understands, because this is the process which is going to run those instructions, right? So that is why the Java compilation process is a two-phase process. The first phase is a half process of the compilation, where the conversion is done from the .java files or the higher level language into the bytecode. And once you put that those class files over here on this machine and you run the program, now once you start running the application, then while running, the second phase of the translation gets performed, and that phase is where that JIT comes into picture. So JIT, just in time debugger. So I'll just mention it here. I'm just putting a very basic notes. I would be giving you the the detailed notes afterwards, but just understand the points. And I'm just writing the points here like just you for you guys to make the things more you guys, I want you guys to be more comfortable with these things. That's why I'm just putting the things, but I would be giving you the detailed notes, don't worry. Just
Sure,
in
Prakash. Sure, sure.
right. So JIT, I'll be saying JIT here. So what JIT does, so JIT converts byte code. So when you put your application on this machine, you don't put the Java file, or you don't put the files which contains the human readable code. Over here what happens is, when you come put your code, you put your actual source code on the execution environment, and let's say that environment is on the customer side, and you don't want to expose your implementation on his machine, but you do not have any other choice as well. But over here your security of the source code is absolutely intact, because you are not putting any source code on this machine. Let's say even if it is a client machine, you're not putting your source code here, you're just putting the class file. So if somebody tries to look into these files, he won't be able to understand anything out of it, because the code which is there in these .class files, they are not in the human readable format. Okay, so there is no threat to the security of your code. So you are going to put the .class files, and then you will, when you will run your application in the runtime, the JRT, what it will do is it will collect the information about the instruction set of the processor that particular machine is using, and then while running it will convert your byte code into the processor's native instruction set. So the program actually gets converted into the processor native instruction set, which is there on your execution environment and not on the development environment. This is how the Java programs or the Java compilation is different here, guys. That's why Java is said to be a portable. You can write your program on any machine, but ultimately it is going to get converted into the processor native instruction set, which is going to be available on the execution environment and not on the development environment, right? Getting it? So this is how the Java actually compiles the program. Okay, now having said this, now let's understand where you will find this Java C, the first phase. Okay, which perform the first phase. Now everyone, please go to the location where you have your Java installed. Okay,
Okay, okay.
I want you guys to understand few more things now before we start the actual compilation and execution of our programs. Now, by default, if you will find your Java installed in your C program
Programs
files,
files.
right? So if you are onto a 64-bit machine, your Java by default would be installed into this C program files. If you are into 32, I mean, if you are on the 64-bit machine, but the Java you have installed is a 32-bit, then you will be finding it into this x86. But mostly now people use as the 64-bit machines, so you would be finding it into the C, to the C program files, and just look for Java, a directory called Java. I don't have it over here because I have my Java somewhere else, but I have just come here for the purpose of you. Like just go here, see program files, find the directory called Java. Now I'll go to the where I have my Java installed. So I have it installed over here, JDK. Now you will find it in your C program files Java. Okay, there you will find the Java. Inside that you will find the folders here like bin, conf and stuff like that. Go inside the bin folder, guys. Go inside the bin folder. In the bin folder, you will find one exe Java C. This is the compiler which I was talking about when I was explaining the first phase. So the Java C compiler, once you install the JDK, you get the bin folder, and inside the bin folder you will find the Java C. Okay, so this is the compiler. So we are going to talk about how to access this and that, and I mean the things like that. But let's understand where the JDK is. So JDK contains the bin folder, and this bin folder actually contains the tools and utilities which we need to build our Java application. So there are various things like Java C, then jar. So this is the I mean, you know, the tool which will assist us in creating the jar files. So jar, then Java C, then the Java exe also you will find here, this one. So this actually starts the runtime environment for executing our Java programs, right? So this provides all the necessary things which any Java program needs to get executed, right? So all these things you will find in this bin folder. Now, how are we going to compile our Java programs? We are going to write our Java, as I told you, like we are not going to use any ID until we start with our Selenium. We are going to use Notepad to write our Java programs, and we are going to use this Java C to compile our programs, and we are going to access this Java C using our command prompt, right? But how to access it in the command prompt and all stuff, now we are going to start going to understand it. Any queries, guys, until this point? If you have, please ask.
No, as of now, from
As
my
of
side.
now, everything is fine. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's move ahead. And now we are going to create a simple Java program. Okay, we are not going to understand anything, any concept as of now, because our currently our focus is on understanding two main things: class path and how the Java program gets compiled and executed. These things we are, concentrating on now. So let's not get into understanding what is class, what is static, what is void, what is public. We will talk about it afterwards. Now, what you guys do is create one folder. I'm going to create, like I have, like over here, if you see in my students folder, I have the I keep the batch wise folders here. So I would be creating a folder for our batch, and each and everything which we would be creating throughout our course, whether it is Java program, Selenium scripts, and like whatever, I would be saving all the material which we would be creating throughout our course in this particular folder. Okay, so I'll say more. And inside this I would be creating one folder called Java programs. So you guys also create a program, a folder for saving our Java programs. I will be saving all our Java programs in this folder. So everyone, please go and create a Java programs folder. Anywhere. You can create it anywhere, it doesn't matter. And open a notepad file. Go to the start menu and open notepad. Now we are going to write our first Java program, and we are going to see how to compile and how to run. And the main focus is going to be on understanding the compilation and execution process. Okay, let's start. So open a notepad. So I'm going to open a new notepad here, and I'm going to write a program. You guys are going to write with me. Okay, just follow up with me for the steps. And if somebody is behind or anything, just let me know. I'll wait. Okay, so let's
Okay,
start.
okay, okay.
So I'll say class, my first program. Okay, just write with me the curly brace. Okay, to contain uh, the code from inside this block. So this just marks one block. Okay, whatever you write inside this curly braces, those things are considered to be part of this block, right? So these contents belong to class. Whatever the contents, now we are going to write inside this public. We are going to see each and every concept afterwards, guys, don't worry. Public static void main string. Okay, and I'll say system dot out dot print ln. And it's like, it's a statement which will print the message on the console. It's equivalent to printf from C language. Printf. Okay, like in C language we use printf for printing some message on the console. So this is printf, you can say this is printf from Java. And I'll say hello, running Java program. So this is a function system.out.println, okay, a function, and it contains this string argument, which is our message. The string argument is into the double quotes. I have written this message which I want uh, to be printed on my console. Okay, please everyone, please come to this point. Then I'll be showing you how to save this file, because saving of the file is very important. If you do any mistake in saving the file, then you guys may face issues in getting it compiled. That's why I want everyone to come to this point before I save this file. Okay, so I'll give you some
Okay,
time
okay.
to complete the writing. Just let me know once you are done, then we will save this and we will see how to compile it.
इसका हो गया लिख के.
Okay, now let's save the program. Now please carefully see what I'm doing here. Go to the file, save. Now browse the directory which you guys must have created for saving the programs. Like I have created the name of the organization, and inside that I have created one Java programs. So I'm inside the folder now where I want to save my program. And please concentrate now, guys. Please observe what I'm doing here. I'm giving some name. You can give any name to the file, doesn't matter. So I'll say program one. The extension should be .java, and here the save as type, you will see here by default .txt. Don't keep it .txt, otherwise your file will be saved as program1.java.txt, which will not be recognized by Java compiler. Java compiler needs the file saved with a .java extension. So here the save as type should be all files. So if you keep it all files, your file will get the extension .java and just save. You don't have to do any other things, any other changes. Just say save. That's it. You will see that the name of the file is program1 and the name is this, my first program, a class name. Everyone, please do this. Now we are going to compile the program and run it. For initial few sessions we will go very slow, guys, because I want you guys to follow with me, and I don't want to, like, we have the people who are new into this, like, Java and all. I don't want to hit the confidence, because I have seen, like, in my sessions, like if you don't I mean, you don't match the speed of the people, the understanding of the people, then they get their confidence hit in a wrong way, right? I don't want to hit your confidence. I want to boost your confidence, guys. So that's why in our initial sessions we are going to go very slow. Like I want to like keep with your understanding, and then we are going to obviously increase the speed. Okay, so everyone, please save the file, and now let's go to the command prompt. Just go to the cmd. So go to the start cmd. Now from here we are going to access our Java C. We are going to access our Java C. right? Now, where is our Java C located? Now, let's go and check again. I had already shown you, but let's go and check. For me, it's located in E colon JDK 11 and bin. This is where my Java C is located. Okay. Now, in the command prompt, when I'll Java C, what I need to do is I need to mention the full path, obviously, because I am here in this C users admin. This is called as a working directory, guys. This is called as a working directory. Now, you are in this directory, okay, and you want to access the file from some other directory. I want to access the file from this directory. Now, I have two ways to do that. Either I have to, while being here, if I want to access any file from there, I have to provide the full path of that location. I have to provide the full path. Like I'll say copy, and I'll come here and I'll just paste it. My control C, and I can say edit and paste. So I have pasted, and I'll say Java C. This way I can access my Java C. This is called absolute path because I am giving the full path. This is called absolute path and path of my file e colon jdk bin javac.exe. Okay, and then to this command there is one argument, and that argument is the path of your Java file. Okay, but the every time whenever to Java C, first thing I have to remember the location, the exact location of my Java C, where it is located, so that I can provide the full path of it. This is one option to access that Java C. Another option is I need to make this directory where my Java C is present. I need to make this directory as my working directory. Okay, so I need to change my working directory from this to the bin folder. CD, and if you observe, like still my working directory is the same, C users admin. It has not been changed yet because I'm converting, or rather I'm I'm entering into the other directory which is there on some other root. So this is a root. C colon is the root. From this root I am jumping inside the directory from other root, E colon. But that jump doesn't happen directly. You have to mention the root once. So here I said CD and the path of the directory, and this directory is from other root where I am currently in. So I, after doing the CD, or I'm after firing the CD command, I need to mention the root once, then only I can change the root along with being inside the required directory. Now I am inside this. Now how would I access my Java C? Java C, that's it. So I can directly access my Java C now because now I am inside the directory where Java C is present. This is called relative path. Once you are inside the directory where the required file exists and you mention the path of that with respect to the directory where you are in, that path is called relative because the path you are mentioning here is in the relation with the directory where you are currently in, right? It's called relative path. But both these options, either you mention the full path or you change your directory to the directory which contains your Java C, both these options require you to know the path of your Java C, right? Now, what is the solution for it? Both of these, like if you are planning to use this Java C over and over again, these options are not very handy. Like both these need to you to remember the exact path of our Java C. Then what can be done? I don't want to do all these things. Neither I want to mention the full path of my Java C, nor I want to change my directory every now and then before I start using Java C. Then what is the option for it? What option we are talking about is I should be able to use Java C from directory I'm in, right? I'm right now in this. Let's say I'm here. Let's say I'm e colon somewhere inside the e colon. Let's say students. So wherever I am in, I want to be able to use my Java C without knowing the location of it. Then what is the option? How can we do it? For this purpose, for this purpose, we need one very important thing here. Now, when we say, I want to install Java, so it's not only about going through the steps, the performing the installation using the installation wizard. It's also about once you're done with the installation phase steps using the installer given installation wizard. Once you're done with that, you need to set up. Setup means you should be able to access the Java C, jar, Java, all these commands from your bin folder. So from this folder, all these commands should be accessible to you from any working directory in your command prompt. How can we do this? For that, we need to set one environment variable, guys. Now everyone go to the start and type here edit system environment variables. Edit system environment. So just go here, click on this. You will see one environment variable section open. Now I don't know whether the people who are now working on their office machines, whether they would be able to do it or not, because maybe you guys may not be having the administrative rights, but at least for your understanding purpose, just see what I'm telling you to get the compiler set up or get those get the setup done to be able to access the files from that directory. The people who are using their personal laptops, that is why my question was that which machines you guys are using. If you are using your personal machines, then you guys would be able to do anything. Like whatever the things we are going to do throughout this course, there won't be any problems for you. But if you are using the office machines where some restrictions are applied, then there could be some things which you guys are not able to do. But never the mind, just understand what I'm saying or what I'm explaining here. Now go to the system properties there, like edit environment variables. Once you will select that, you will see this window and you will see one button, environment variables. So you will get this window, environment variables. So what is environment variables? Environment variables are those settings which our machine uses, for different purposes, like different programs, like command prompt requires some programs, then Eclipse requires some software, Oracle installed on my machine, it requires few things from my machine for its purpose. So how does it accesses those things? Like different things are installed at different places. So how the different softwares running on my machine accesses those things? So they access my machine, the different softwares installed over here using this environment variables. So environment variables are nothing but the variables which are pointing to some locations on my machines, right? So here you will see two sections, main user variable section, the upper one, and this one is the system variable section. Now what is the difference between the two? Now here if you see, there are few environment variables already created. Like once you install the operating system, some of the entries you will see here by default, and some of the entries we create based on our requirement. So the entries like Android Home, Ant Home, Catalina Home, ClassPath, these are the entries which I have created. They are called user defined variables. And some of the entries have got created through the operating system installation process, like path. Okay, this path which I have
Hello.
not defined. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
sorry
yes,
to interrupt, but I'm
yes.
actually facing some serious issues regarding the screen that you have displayed. So is everyone else also?
Are you guys also facing the issue in seeing
No,
my
no, I'm
screen?
not.
We are able to
No,
see
no.
you.
We are able
Okay,
to see.
No, no, no.
Okay, then I'll
okay.
just reconnect. I'll just try to
Yes,
reconnect.
yes. Please, please. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so what I was saying is, like in this section, like if you open your section, like this environment variable section, you will find few entries which are already created. I mean, you might not have created those. Those environment entries have been created through the setup of your operating system. Those are called system defined environment variables, which are created as a part of our operating system setup, and those you create based on your requirement, they are called user environment or the user defined environment variables. Now there are two areas to create the environment variables. One is the user variable section and system variable section. In any of these sections you can create your own environment variables by clicking on this new. What is the difference? I'll tell you. The difference is, if I create, if let's say in some of my program or somewhere I want to access my name, I want to access my name there, so I will create the environment variable my name. This is the name of the environment variable, and pranodaya is a value of that environment variable. Okay, so we can create any environment variable based on our requirement. We can keep any meaningful name and the value which we want to ultimately access for our purpose, right? Now, if I create this environment variable over here in this section, and let's say my machine can be used by two user profiles, the one which I am currently logged in with, with some different person. Okay, so once I logged off and he logged in, right? So this particular area is user specific area. Like the environment variables which I will create in this section would only be available to my user profile using which I am logged in. If I logged off and somebody else logged in, he won't see these environment variables in this section of his, right? So this is user specific. Whereas this section, if I create the environment variable here, anybody using my machine would be able to access this, because this is the system specific. This is shared by all the users, all the user profiles sharing the system, right? Now the point is, how can we make our command prompt, or how can we set a compiler like in a such a way that I should be able to access it from any working directory. How to do that? Now, for that, there is very important environment variable available over here is, which is system defined environment variable. We don't define it. The system defines it as a part of the installation process, and that environment variable is path. You can see here path, path. It is already defined. You can modify it. Some of the values which are already being mentioned there, but find this environment variable created on their machines. Okay, so in this path environment variable, you have to just say edit, and we have to add this path, bin folder path here in this section. Like you can see, there are many paths mentioned here. Some of them I have mentioned for my purpose, and some of them are already mentioned as a part of the installation process. But what is the significance of this variable is, when you add any path over here, like if I add this particular path in this path environment variable, if I add this particular path in my environment variable over here, the path environment variable, now once I do that, any software on my machine, like whether it could be a CMD or anything, they would be able to access the softwares, the commands from the folders the paths of which have been mentioned here. So if I mention this path over here, then command prompt would be able to access the things which are present in this particular directory. And that is what we ultimately want. We want our command prompt to be able to access the Java, C, jar, Java and all the things which are lying over here. So my command prompt should be able to access it, right? That is what we want. So we need to add this into our path environment variable. So how to add it? It's very simple process. Just click on new and paste the path. Click on OK. I am now clicking on cancel because I already have it added, but I'm just telling you the process here. Just paste the path, click on OK, click on OK, and click on OK. That's it. Once you will save this, your environment change would be saved. Now one more precaution we need is, whatever the software you want to access that environment variable in, you need to restart it. If any other instance is already started for that of that software, let's say right now my command prompt is one instance of the command prompt is already running while I was doing those changes. So the running instance doesn't get the environment change, right? You need to restart it. Only then and then you will get that environment change in effect. Okay, so everyone please go to the CMD and run one thing, Java C, and hit enter, and just let me know whether you guys are able to see now what I will be getting it here now shortly, few logs here. So that is something we should get. We should not get the error Java C is not internal or external command. What is mean by that? This Java C, the command prompt couldn't find. Like when you mention any command, that command first gets searched for in the working directory. If it gets it into the working directory, it's fine. If it doesn't get it here, then how does it find it? How does it find where the Java C is? Because we have not mentioned the location of this command. We just mentioned the name of the command. So what happens is, when you mention the command, so that command first gets searched for in the working directory. If it is find there, that's fine. If it is not, then the command prompt goes to the path environment variable and it searches each and every over there from top to down, and it goes into every directory there, and then that is how it searches for the command. And if it doesn't get it there as well, then it gives the error Java C or so and so is not internal or external command. Now I want you guys to open the command prompt and run the command and tell me what are you getting. Are you getting this kind of thing, or you guys are getting Java C or is not internal or external command? Please tell me, guys, because this is something which is very important for us.
I got it. The same.
This one, okay.
Uh,
Is there
Same.
anybody? Is there
Yeah, even
anybody?
I got it.
Okay,
I
is
got
there
same.
anybody? Is there anybody who is getting Java C is not internal or external command? Please tell me, because that is something which is the concern for us. If you are getting this, that's absolutely fine. But if you are not, then we need to, I mean, do the modifications in your environment. Is there anybody who is not getting this, or who is getting Java C is not internal or external command? You can tell me on the chat as well, guys. I would be constantly going to keep a watch on the chat window here, so that if you have anything to say to me, I would be able to know that. So
Hello.
anybody?
Hi, Pranav.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Annapurna. Yeah, yeah, I'm getting is not recognized as an internal or external command.
Okay, Annapurna, you are there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Annapurna, you are using your own machine, right?
No. Office machine.
Okay, your office machine you are using.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, then I'll tell you what to do. I'll tell you. guys, the people who are able to access the Java C, why are you able to access it? Because your bin folder path, this path is already added into the path environment variable for you guys. That's why you are able to access the Java C from the command prompt, right? But Annapurna, for you, the case is you do not have this path added into your path environment variable. Now I'll tell you how to add it. Just follow me with the steps. Just go to the start menu here and type edit space system space environment. Sorry,
Yeah.
if you say edit space system, you will see this edit the system environment variable. Are you able to see this?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, click on this.
Yeah.
And which operating system you are using, Windows 10 or anything else?
Uh,
Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Go to the system, sorry, go to the environment variables. I'll tell you. Are you able to see this window, environment variables window?
yes. Yes.
Okay, now just go inside this section, this system variable section, park inside it and type P. It will locate the path environment variable entry here. Are you able to see this?
Yes.
Okay, now just
Path.
click on this. Sorry, yes,
Okay. I have to click on the path.
yes, click on the path entry, this one.
Yeah.
Okay, click on this edit.
Yeah.
You will see one table here having some entries over there.
Yes.
Click on this new.
Yeah.
Okay, once you will click on this new, one blank entry would be created at
Yes.
the end of this table.
Yeah. It is there.
Okay, now just go to the location where you have your JDK.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
JDK and bin. Remember, you have to add the path of this bin folder and not this JDK folder. Don't make a mistake here. I am saying
Yeah.
go inside the bin directory, copy the path, Control C, copy the path, come back to the environment variable section, come
Yes.
back to the blank entry created and paste the path here.
Yeah. Done.
Okay, click on OK. Click on OK. All the three windows which are part of that environment variable section, you need to close by clicking OK.
Yeah. Done.
OK, and OK. Okay. Now, if
Yes.
you have any command prompt instance already running, and if
Okay.
you try Java C, there it will not work, because when we added that entry into the path environment variable, this instance was running, and every software instance, once you start, it starts with the current environment, and when this was started in its current environment, that entry was not added, right? We added it right now, just now we added it. So this already running instance will not have it. So you have to close that,
Okay.
the command prompt, if you
Yeah.
have any, and
Yes.
then open the new one, new instance. Now this new instance will get that environment where we
Yes.
have added our path just right. Go there, open the command prompt and say Java and hit enter, and just let me know what happens now. Now you should not see, if you have done the things correctly, you should not see the error.
Just a minute.
Yes, yes. The first step in, I mean, getting ready for writing our Java programs, and unless you do this, you won't be able to start writing the programs, guys.
Again, it's giving the same error.
Are you sure that you have provided the correct path?
Yes.
Uh, okay.
Uh, can I share my screen here?
Yes, yes, you can, but I just need to see how can you share it. Just a minute. Let me, just a second. Let me see. Mm, more options. There is, you can share it, but let me see it how. Okay. Now I just want to check one thing here. Okay, just a minute. I think I need to allow you. Okay, maybe I need to make you a presenter for some time. You are logged in with your own name, right? Annapurna.
Yes.
Then just a minute. Maybe I should say everyone of as of now. Now just check whether you are able to see the option to share the screen.
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
You are able to now. Okay.
Yes.
Now just share the screen. I'll just tell you what is the wrong. So what I'll do is I'll just keep this setting to everyone so that as and when required I would be able to see the screen of few people as well.
Is my screen visible now?
Yes, it is. Can you
CMD?
just say Java C and hit enter?
Okay, after copying the path, right?
No, 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 no.
Okay.
You have added the path, right? You said you added the path into the environment variables, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, just say Java C and hit enter. I just want to see the problem here.
Uh,
Just
this
hit
app
enter.
can't run.
Okay, just okay. That's fine. It means you do not have the administrative privileges. Okay, just close this window. Just close this window.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what to do. This command
yeah,
prompt window, just close this. Go to the
yeah.
start. Go to the start menu.
Huh.
CMD. Right click on it and run as administrator. Select run as administrator. Yes,
Yeah.
and say Java C now. App can't run on your PC. Why? Uh, on which drive, Annapurna, you have installed your Java on C drive?
Yeah, C program files.
Okay, maybe. Okay, uh, but you should be able to access it. Okay, what can we do is, maybe later on after the session, maybe just copy this JDK folder and move it to some other drive instead of C.
Okay.
Pranode,
Yeah. Hi. Hello.
अन्नपूर्णा ये पाथ कॉपी करना उधर वो सिस्टम बोला था ना उन्होंने.
Pran- Pranod, I think we have lost it.
Yeah, I think. अन्नपूर्णा वो कॉपी कर लो पाथ वो एडिट द सिस्टम इन्वायरमेंट वेरिएबल्स में.
एक minute.
इसमें पाथ में एडिट
New नहीं करना है.
अन्नपूर्णा गलत पाथ है वो।
नहीं ना
पाथ
वो
बीन
जा
के अंदर,
रहे जा रहे वो जा रहे.
बीन
Path.
के अंदर जाके तू अभी तक जेडीके वाला ही किया है कॉपी।
Yes. Hello, guys.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. Sorry, got disconnected for a few seconds. Yeah. So, saying like, slash bin. You should be saying slash bin.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what. Like, you need to have that bin folder added into the path environment variable. But the actually the misleading was the error, like the error which you were getting it, that error was quite misleading. It doesn't give this error, like what the error which you got, it doesn't give it this error. It says that Java C is not internal or external command, but the error made me confused here. Like actually the error was related to some security related stuff. It was just indicating. Okay, just click on OK. Annapurna, just click on OK.
Yeah.
Click on OK. All the three windows, just click on OK and restart your command prompt if it is there already.
Again, shall I do it run as admin?
Yeah, please. As far as possible, guys. This is for everyone. As far as possible, try to run the command prompt as administrator, because I have seen some instances where if you don't start the command prompt as administrator, then no, yes, and just hit enter. Yeah, I think you have maybe some installation issue also it could be. Maybe you should try reinstalling the Java. I'll give you the installation also if you require. I have the other installation, like you guys are currently having JDK 1.8, but Annapurna, if you want, I can give you the other installation as well, which I have JDK 9 it is, but I will share you after the today's session. Just ping me your email ID. I have the JDK uploaded on my Google Drive, so I'll share it with you. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Annapurna, can you please stop sharing your screen so that I can show you all how to compile the program? Till that time, just Annapurna, just follow us, and then just once we are done with the session, just I'll share you the link. You just download that JDK from that location, set the path environment variable. I think that there is some issue either with the setup which you have or the privileges you have, and the JDK which I would be giving you, just keep it on some other drive. Don't keep it on C colon. So you have two options here. Once I'll share the JDK with you, keep it on some other drive. The other option is just uninstall. Whatever the JDK you have right now on your machine, and install it on some other location than C. Don't do it on C
Okay.
colon. I think there is some administration issues, I guess you have. Okay. Are you guys able to see my screen?
No.
No.
Guys?
No.
Okay.
No.
Another you have to share it.
Yes, I'm sharing it. I'm sharing it. Just a minute. Yes, I'm sharing my screen. Yes, I have shared my screen. Are you able to see it now?
Yeah.
Okay, now
Yes.
let's
No.
go and see how to compile the program. Now we have written the program, as have decided that we are going to defer the discussion of the class and other concepts until our next session. So now we are going to see how to compile it. Now everyone go to your command prompts and say Java C space and provide the full path of your Java file. Now what do I mean by that? Please, because I have seen people making the mistakes while doing these steps. Now what you guys need to do is you need to provide the full path. Full path means what? I'll tell you. Now my file is in this e students Java programs. Copy the path from your file manager, come here into your command prompt Java C space, paste the path of the directory slash and give the name of the file of your program. Now in my case the name of the file is program, but don't stop only at the name, give the extension as well. Many times people forget to give the extension, hit enter, and then we get the error. Also one more very important point, just hold on before and pressing the enter. If you have the spaces, if you have the spaces in the name of in the name of either in the name of the file or in the name of the folder inside which your program file exists, then you should be giving the path inside the double quotes. Okay, it's good practice to give the path whether it contains the spaces or not. It's always a good practice to give the path inside the double quotes, right? So Java C space inside the double quotes. I am mentioning the path. Enter. So my compiler is compiling the program. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake here. My name of the
Program 1.
program one it is. Yes. Yes. Now, if the prompt returns without any errors, the compilation is successful, guys. Okay. Now, if the compilation is successful, you will see like inside the folder where you have your Java file, you will see one file created here. Now I was only having this particular file previously. Now I have got two files. The one is the Java source code and the other one is the class file. You can see the type of the file is class file. That is what the first phase of the compilation does. It converts your .java or the higher level language program into the bytecode, and the bytecode is into the class file. One more very important point to observe here is the name of the file, the class file, is the same as that of name of our class. You can see the class which I have written in my program. The name of the class is my first program, and the name of the class file is my first program. So the class file, the basically the translation of this code, what is there, like this code belongs to this class block. So the translation of this code is inside the dot class file. Okay, this dot class file, and the dot class file gets the name of the class, right? So this is the first observation. Now this class file, if you try to open and see what is there, you won't be able to understand anything from it, because the code is not in the human readable form. I can open, I can see, okay, there is something written. I don't know what is that, right? So this is what the bytecode is. This is the bytecode. And if you open this file, that is written in the human readable, obviously, like our Java program, this one. Are you guys getting it? Okay, so please compile the program. Now we are going to see the run execution of it.
Hi, Pranodai.
Yes, who is this?
Hi,
Please mention the
hi,
name as well,
Suvarna
guys,
here.
because yes, hi Suvarna.
Hi, I
Yes,
got
Suvarna.
some error.
What is the
Illegal
error you got?
characters.
Illegal
Illegal
characters?
character. Yeah.
Okay. Can you just cross verify your program once with the file which I have open on my machine?
Yeah. Okay.
Just cross check it. I'll just explain it to you. This class, the C is small. After that, it
Yeah.
is space and some name. My first program. Then there is a curly brace. Then there is again a public, which is all small, static, all small, void, all small, main, all small. Then there is a round bracket, string. So the strings S is capital. Then
Yeah.
there are pair of square brackets, ARGS. Then the round bracket close. Then there is a curly bracket open. And then after that, system S is capital, dot out small, everything small, dot println everything small. Then there is a round bracket open, then double quotes, and there is some message, the close of the double quote, round bracket close, semicolon, curly brace close, curly brace close.
Yeah.
So, and you are
Yes, that's
saying,
proper.
and what error you are getting, you said?
Illegal character.
Illegal character. Okay,
Yeah.
now one more question I have here, that when you save your file and like whatever the name you have saved it with, that's fine.
Yeah.
The could be like, I'm just I have not seen your error as yet, but I'm just telling you what could have gone wrong. Maybe while saving the file, you have not set this save as type to all files.
No, I did.
You did. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Now, while providing the path of the file, just try enclosing it with double quotes.
Yeah, I did it also.
Okay, can you please share your screen? Because now
Sorry,
I
I
need to.
can't share because my laptop has some issues regarding. So I'm viewing this
Okay.
on in my mobile
Okay.
and doing things on my
Okay,
laptop.
okay. Can you do one thing maybe after the session, because now we have only 10
Yeah.
minutes to go. So
Yeah.
like we are going to have our WhatsApp group, right? So just
Yeah.
take a snap of this particular error, whatever you are getting,
Yeah.
and just send it to me on that WhatsApp group. So I will be telling you what could have been the wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
please, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Yes guys, so let's see how to run the program. Now this is the compilation, and execution is about that. Execution is only going to also going to happen using one of the file from the JDK bin. So the JDK bin, as I shown you, it contains Java C as well as Java. Now we are going to use this Java command to execute our. That's why it is very important for us to add this bin folder in our environment variable, path environment variable, because we are going to access lot of things from this location, right? So the command is Java space. Okay, Java space name of the class. Now please understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying name of the file, I'm saying name of the class, the name with which the class file has got created. Now my class file, as I had mentioned, my class file is just a second, let me go to, yeah, so the class file, if you see, the name is this is the name of the class, right? This one, and you have to mention that name. Don't mention extension as dot class. Don't mention the extension. Just mention the name of the class and hit enter. Now you should see this error, class not found. Now this is usually this is the error which we usually encounter when we put our scripts for the execution. like like many times we experience that the scripts are getting executed absolutely fine inside the Eclipse on the development environment, but once we put them for the execution on the execution environment, we face such kind of issues there. So what is the reason for this? That is what now we are going to talk about. Everyone please do this. Java space name of the class. Don't mention the path. Don't mention the extension. You have to just say Java space name of the class and hit enter. Now the problem is, the error is because this Java runtime environment, now that Java runtime environment is going to invoke a JIT, the second compiler translator. Now that second translator requires this class file which contains the bytecode for the further translation into the processor native instruction set. Now the problem is that this Java command I am running it from my this C colon Windows system 32 directory, working directory. Now this Java is trying to find this particular class file into this location. It is trying to find my first program dot class in this location, but I don't have it over here. I have it somewhere here in some other location than my working directory, and that is why it is saying no class found, class not found exception. It is not getting the dot class file for this particular class to do the translation and do the execution. That's the error. Now how to resolve this? Now we need to tell, obviously, if you are not, if your working directory is not the same where you have your class file, then you need to tell where your class file is. So how to tell it? We have to set, we have to send one argument. Now this Java is a command, and the name of the which the name of the class which we want to execute, that name is an argument to it. So we have to send one more argument to it, the location of the class file, and that argument is called class path. So I'm going to set one class path. Just have a look at my screen. I'm just starting the virtual keyboard here because few of the keys from my keyboard are not working. You don't need to do this. You can use your keyboard keys for setting the class path. I have just a dash and equal to, few of the keys are not working. That's why I've just started this particular virtual keyboard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say a dash, that is hyphen CP. CP stands for class path. So to this Java command, instead of sending single argument, I'm send the class file. So dash CP space the path of the directory, this one, this directory where I have my class file present, and space. So now basically I have this Java command. Now I have two arguments. This Java command has two arguments. One is the location of my class file, which is called class path, and the next is the name of the class which I want to execute. Okay, so I'll just say Java space hyphen cp space, then the location space, and my class name, this one, control C, enter. Oh sorry, I got it for two times. The cp should be only once. See, I got my message printed on my screen. So this is how you should be executing the program. Java space -cp space location of your class files and the name of the class you want to execute. We are going to deep dive into it, all these things. Don't worry about it. But right now I'm just telling you what all things you need to know in order to compile and in order to execute. So these are the minimum things you guys need to know in order to get started off with writing and executing the simple Java program. Getting it, guys? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, Pranodya.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Please don't call me sir, guys, because just call me Pranoday, because then it would be very difficult for you only to ask me the questions. I want the silly questions to be asked. Seriously speaking, I'm not joking. Because if you don't ask me the silly questions, then I mean I also won't understand. Okay, like where are the problems, and like how should I explain you so that you guys can also get it correctly. So help me also in understanding which things you guys are not able to understand by asking me the silly questions as well. Okay. Okay, guys. So Piyush, you are going to create the group, right?
Yes, yes. Even
Okay.
I have already created.
Okay, you have created. So what you do
Yes.
is just add every one of you first, and then just add me at the end. One assignment on that group, it would be only around these steps which we just learned. Like you guys would
Mhm.
be writing one simple program as we did right now, and you
Mhm.
guys are going to just compile it and execute it, and that's it. I mean, that is what I just want you guys to do for today. And then from tomorrow onwards, then we would be having some more comprehensive assignments. And today I would be sharing my blogs on that group once you create that. So please read those blogs, like they are related to Selenium, Appium, Vinium. Those things we are going to learn. And one blog is about the how the testing is now going to like it has already started changing. Like previously it was only about manual testing, but now the things are moving to the automation more. So the reason behind it and how it is now going to change more after it, that is what the one of the blog is all about. So please read the blogs. And yeah, I mean, see you tomorrow. I will put the assignment for today on the group. Thanks a lot,
Okay.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
Pranab.
very much.
Thank you, thank you. And tomorrow, yeah, also one more point. Please make sure that everyone is joined to the meeting 5 minutes prior, so that we have to start at 8 o'clock sharp, because we do not have any other option. You guys are also having your office work post 11. I also need to join my office work at 11 o'clock. So like we cannot extend it more. That's why please make sure that we every day we are starting sharp at 8 o'clock. Okay.
Sure, Pranay, sure.
Thanks a lot
Yeah,
and see
Pranab.
you tomorrow,
Thank you,
guys.
Pranay. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank
Pranab.
you.
Bye.
Bye for now,
Thanks.
Thank you,
guys.
Pranodya.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.